की ISKCON founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada की जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिकर आचार्य सरस्वती श्रीमती भक्ति सिद्धांत गोस्वामी महाराज की Ananda Koti Vaishnavrind ki. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shishi Guru and Gauranga. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1. Prabhu, Srimad Bhagavatam. I have a different. Canto 1, chapter 19, text number 9 and 10. Thank you. Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswati vyasam tato jayamudiraye. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is a very means of conquest, one shall offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, Narayan, and unto Narayan Rishi, the supremmost human being, and unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasprayesu abhadresu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavate uttam shloke bhaktir bhavati nashtaki. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotees, all that is troublesome to the heart is completely destroyed. And love in service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised, who is established as an irrevocable fact. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today we have two texts, text number 9 and 10. So we will chant text 9 together, and I will chant text number 10 on my own. Atrir Vashistas Chavana Saradvan Aristanimir Brigur Angiras Cha Parasaro Gadisuto Ata Rama Utataya Indra Pramademavaho Atrir Vashista Chavana Sharadvan Atrir Vashista Chavana Sharadvan Arastami Brigu Angirascha Aristani me Brigu Angirascha Parasaro Gadi Suto Atarama Utataya Indra Pramademavo Atrir Vashista Chavana Saradvan Arastani me Brigur Angirascha Parasaro Gadi Suto Atarama Utataya Indra Pramademavo Atrir Vashista Chavana Shravan Aristani Mir Brigur Angirascha Parasaro Gadi Suto Tarama Utataya Indra Pramademavaho. Please chant. Atrir Vashista Atre Vashista Chavana Arista Nemi Girascha Atre Vashista Chavana Sharadva Utatya Indra Paramameva Ma Astre Vashista Chavana Sharadva Aristami Matajis. Aristami Aristanemi Brigurangirascha Medati Devala Atiseno Bardvajo Gautama Piplata Maitreya Orva Kavasa Kumbhayonir Dvaipayano Bhagavan Aradascha. Translation. From different parts of the universe, there arrived great sages like Atri, Chayaman, Saradvan, Aristhanemi, Brigu, Vashishta, Parasara, Vishwamitra, Angira, Parshurama, Utataya, Indrapramada, Idvamahu, Medatiti, Devala, Aristasena, Bharadvaja, Gautama, Piplata, Maitreya, Orva, Kavasa, Kumbhayoni, Dvaipayan, and the great personality Narad. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Chayavan, a great sage and one of the sons of Brigu Muni. He was born prematurely when his pregnant mother was kidnapped. Chayavan is one of the 6 sons of his father, Brigu. When Brahmaji was performing a great sacrifice on behalf of Varuna, Maharishi Brigu was born from the sacrificial fire. He was a great sage and his very dear wife was Puloma. He could travel in space like Durvasa, Narad and others, and he used to visit all the planets of the universe. Before the battle of Kurukshetra, he tried to stop the battle. Sometimes he instructed Bharadwaj Muni about astronomical evolution, and is the author of the great Brigu Samhita, the great astrological calculation. He explained how air, fire, water, and earth are generated from ether. He explained how the air in the stomach works and regulates the intestines. As a great philosopher, he logically established the eternity of the living entity, Mahabharata. He was also a great anthropologist, and the theory of evolution was long ago explained by him. He was a scientific propounder of the 4 divisions and orders of human society known as the Varnashram institution. He converted the Kshatriya king with a Havya into a Brahmana, Vashishta. I will read through the purport and then we will read on Vashishta, and there is also some other sages. Parashara. He is the grandson of Vashishta Muni and father of Vyasdev. He is the son of Maharishi Shakti and his mother's name was Adrisyati. He was in the womb of his mother when she was only 12 years old, and from within the womb of his mother he learned the Vedas. His father was killed by a demon, Kalmasapad, and to avenge this he wanted to annihilate the whole world. He was restrained, however, by his grandfather Vashishta. He then performed a Rakshas killing Yagya, but Maharishi Pulatsya restrained him. He begot Vyasdev, being attracted by Satyavati, who was to become the wife of Maharaj Santanu. By the blessings of Parasar, Satyavati became fragrant for miles. He was present also during the time of Bhishma's death. He was the spiritual master of Maharaj Janak and a great devotee of Lord Shiva. He is the author of many Vedic scriptures and astrological directions. Sociological directions. Gadisutta or Vishwamitra, a great sage of austerity and mystic power. He is famous as Gadisutta because his father was Gadi, a powerful king of the province of Kanyagubja, part of Uttar Pradesh. Although he was a Kshatriya by birth, he became a Brahmana in the very same body by the power of his spiritual achievements. He picked a quarrel with Vashishta Muni when he was a Kshatriya king and performed a great sacrifice in cooperation with Makanga Muni, and thus was able to vanquish the sons of Vashishta. He became a great yogi, and yet he failed to check his senses and thus was obliged to become the father of Sakuntala, the beauty queen of world history. Once he was a Kshatriya king, he visited the hermitage of Vashishta Muni and he was given a royal reception. Vishwamitra wanted from Vashishta a cow named Nandini, and the Muni refused to deliver it. Vishwamitra stole the cow, and thus there was a quarrel between the sage and the king. Vishwamitra was defeated by the spiritual strength of Vashishta, and thus the king decided to become a Brahmana. Before becoming a Brahmana, he underwent severe austerity on the bank of the Kaushik. He was also one who tried to stop the Kurukshetra war. Angira. He is one of the 6 mental sons of Brahma and the father of Brihaspati, the great learned priest of the demigods in the heavenly planets. He was born of the semen of Brahmaji given to a cinder of fire. Uttataya and Samvarta are his sons. It is said that he is still performing austerity and chanting the holy name of the Lord at a place known as Alokananda on the banks of the Ganges. Parshurama, we are going to speak about him. Uttataya, one of the 3 sons of Maharishi Angira, he was a spiritual master of Maharaj Mandata. He married Bhadra, the daughter of Soma, the moon. Varuna kidnapped his wife Bhadra, and to retaliate the offense of the god of water, he drank all the water of the world. Medatiti, an old sage of yore, an assembly member of the heavenly king Indradev. His son was Kanva Muni, who brought up Sakuntala in the forest. He was promoted to the heavenly planet by strictly following the principles of retired life, Vanaprastha. Devala, a great authority like Narad Muni and Vyasdev. His good name is on the list of authorities mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita when Arjuna acknowledged Lord Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He met Maharaj Yudhishthira after the battle of Kurukshetra, and he was the elder brother of Daumya, the priest of the Pandava family. Like the Kshatriyas, he also allowed his daughter to select her own husband in a Swayamvara meeting. And at that ceremony, all the bachelor sons of the rishis were invited. According to some, he is not Asita Devala. Bharadwaj. And then we have Gautama, one of the 7 great sages of the universe. Saradwan Gautama was one of his sons. Persons in the Gautam Gotra or dynasty today are either his family descendants or in his disciplic succession. The Brahmanas who profess Gautama Gotra are generally family descendants, and the Kshatriyas and Vaishyas who profess Gautam Gotra are all in the line of his disciplic succession. He was the husband of the famous Ahalya, who turned into stone when Indradev, the king of the heaven, molested her. Ahalya was delivered by Lord Ramchandra. Gautama was the grandfather of Kripacharya, one of the heroes of the battle of Kurukshetra. Maitreya, a great rishi of yore. He was a spiritual master of Vidura and a great religious authority. He advised Dhritarashtra to keep good relations with the Pandavas. Duryodhana disagreed and thus was cursed by him. He met Vyasdev and had religious discourses with him. So I'm going to read from Canto 1, Chapter 9, Text 6, on the rest of their personalities. So we have Vasishtha, so the great celebrated among the Brahmanas, this is about sage Vasishtha, well known as the Brahmarishi Vasishtha Dev, is a prominent figure in both the Ramayana and Mahabharata periods. He celebrated the coronation ceremony of the personality of God at Sri Ram. He was present also on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. He could approach all the higher and lower planets, and his name is also connected with the history of Hiranyakashipu. There was a great tension between him and Vishwamitra, who wanted his Kamadhenu, wish-fulfilling cow. Vasishtha Muni refused to spare his Kamadhenu, and for this Vishwamitra killed his 100 sons. As a perfect Brahmana, he tolerated all the taunts of Vishwamitra. Once he tried to commit suicide on account of Vishwamitra's torture, but all his attempts were unsuccessful. He jumped from a hill, but the stones on which he fell became a stack of cotton, and thus he was saved. He jumped into the ocean, but the waves washed him ashore. He jumped into the river, but the river also washed him ashore. Thus all his suicide attempts were unsuccessful. He is also one of the 7 rishis and husband of Arundhati, the famous star. And then we have Parshurama. Parshurama, or Renukasut, is the son of Maharishi Jamadagni and Shrimati Renuka. Thus he is also known as Renukasuta. He is one of the powerful incarnations of God, and he killed the Kshatriya community as a whole 21 times. With the blood of the Kshatriyas, he pleased the souls of his forefathers. Later on, he underwent severe penances at the Mahandara Parvat. After taking the whole earth from the Kshatriyas, he gave it in charity to Kashyapa Muni. Parshurama instructed the Dhanur Veda, or the science of fighting, to Dronacharya because he happened to be a Brahmana. He was present during the coronation of Maharaj Yudhishthir, and he celebrated the function along with the other great rishis. Parshurama is so old that he met both Rama and Krishna at different times. He fought with Rama, but he accepted Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He also praised Arjuna when he saw him with Krishna. When Bhishma refused to marry Amba, who wanted him to become her husband, Amba met Parshurama, and by her request only he asked Bhishma Dev to accept her as his wife. Bhishma refused to obey his order, although he was one of the spiritual masters of Bhishma Dev. Parshurama fought with Bhishma Dev when Bhishma neglected his warning. Both of them fought very severely, and at last Parshurama was pleased with Bhishma and gave him the benediction of becoming the greatest fighter in the world. And then we have the last one, which is Bhardwaj. Bhardwaj. He is one of the 7 great rishis and was present at the time of the birth ceremony of Arjun. This powerful rishi sometimes undertook severe penances on the shore of the Ganges, and his ashram is still celebrated at Prayagadam. It is learned that this rishi, while taking bath in the Ganges, happened to meet Gritachi, one of the beautiful society girls of heaven, and thus he discharged semen, which was kept and preserved in an earthen pot, and from which Drona was born. So Dronacharya is the son of Bhardwaj Muni. Others say that Bhardwaj, the father of Drona, is a different person from Maharishi Bhardwaj. He was a great devotee of Brahma. Once he approached Dronacharya and requested him to stop the battle of Kurukshetra. Om Gyanam Timirandasya Gyananjana Salakya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmei Shri Guruve Nama. I was born in the darkest of ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. So I was reading from the text. Does anyone know what was that assembly of great rishis in addition to these rishis that have come? What was the occasion when we had all the other great sages come? Thank you, Prabhu. So this was the passing away of also Bhishmadev. So before I start speaking, I would like to seek the blessings of all the senior Vaishnavas, and Maharaj is here to be able to speak something in the science of Krishna consciousness for the benefit of all of us who are practicing devotional service under the guidance of Jagat Guru, Srila Prabhupada. So, as we can see, it is during the passing away of two great personalities. One is Bhishmadev, who is one of the Mahajans or authorities in our religion, if I can use that word, but in our sampradaya. And now it is the setting of also Parikshit Maharaj to leave his body. So, as we know, in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it says, Sadhu Sangha Sarva Siddhi Hoy, Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha Sarva Siddhi Hoy. That even a moment's association with a pure devotee can change our lives. So, let us look at, this is the prelude to what's going to happen. As we know, this chapter is entitled The Appearance of Sukadev Goswami. So it's a prelude before Sukadev Goswami comes. So before Sukadev Goswami comes, we have all the assembly of these great sages that has come. Now, what is the significance behind the visiting of all these great saints? They have just not come because someone is leaving his body. But they have come because the person who is leaving the body is who? Is a great devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And they know that it is the prelude to what is going to happen, that the Srimad Bhagavatam is going to be spoken. And we know that out of the 9 processes of Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Shravanam, Kirtanam. So it says, it is the uplifting of both by speaking and hearing. So Sukadev Goswami gets the benefit of speaking the Srimad Bhagavatam. And the sages, the audiences, including Parikshit Maharaj, and for our own benefit, we get the benefit by hearing. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. So, this is the significance behind the coming together of all these great sages. But Srila Prabhupada also comments in the purports that not only was Maharaj Parikshit a great devotee of the Lord, but there was a reciprocation. The reason the rishis also came is that the natural beauty of living entities is enhanced by rising up to the platform of devotional service. Because of that mellow, that exchange, due to devotional service, the natural beauty is arisen. And that's why the rishis were also present. And as we know, the meaning of Parikshit means the examiner, the observer. That's why he's called Maharaj Parikshit. Because when he was in the womb of his mother, he was protected, as we all know, by Lord Krishna himself. So when he came out, he was always looking for that particular form that he saw when he was in the womb that protected him. So he used to examine the world. That's why his name is Parikshit. So what he was showing us is that at the time of death, what should be done. So later on in the chapter, there is the question that is posed by Parikshit Maharaj which is a very intelligent question. What does he ask? Please let me know what a man should hear, chant, remember, and worship, and also what he should not do at the time of death. Atato Brahm Jigyasa. Very intelligent question. The question is, what should one do at the time of death? Is that a question only for Parikshit Maharaj, or is that a question for each and every one of us? So you can see how important these topics are. This is the reason that there is an assembly of great rishis coming. Because it is for the benefit of humanity at large. And Srila Prabhupada states in his purports something which was very important, is that the great sages were very pleased with how Maharaj Parikshit was absorbed in attainment for love of Lord Krishna. That they saw that zeal, that enthusiasm, that determination. Although he had the power to counteract the curse, he accepted it as the mercy of the Lord. And in fact, in later verses in this chapter, he actually states, Parikshit Maharaj very humbly states, that I had so much attachment for my wife, for society and everything, and this is actually the mercy of the Lord in the form of death, that he's taking away all this from me. So see the mood, see the perception of how Parikshit Maharaj is taking this. And so the sages were very much appreciative of this. And as we know, this is also a prelude to how a perfect disciple and perfect guru relationship is going to be approached. We know that we have the perfect disciple in Parikshit Maharaj, and there is the perfect guru in Sukadev Goswami. And this is very important because Srila Prabhupada in his purport says, one who does not know how to put questions before the spiritual master has no business seeing him. This is Srila Prabhupada stating in his purports. That there is no business seeing a guru if you cannot put intelligent questions. Because what are you seeing the guru for? Not for fashion. We have some serious business here. The serious business is we need to know what is our position in this material life. And that is what Guru Sambandha is teaching us. Guru Kripa Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. Without the mercy of the Guru, we cannot attain devotional service. And Srila Prabhupada in his purpose states that the sages are naturally inclined to do good to common man. And when they see a personality like Maharaj Parikshit advance in devotional service, their pleasure knows no bounds, and they offer all their blessings in their power. So this is the mercy. You see the reciprocation. The mercy is coming. But what is Maharaj Parikshit doing? What is he showing us? If the mercy is coming from Guru Krishna, what is Parikshit Maharaj showing us? He is showing us that we must endeavor and have determination, just like Mother Yashoda. Mother Yashoda was trying to bind Lord Krishna, and every time she was 2 fingers short. But she was determined to the point that she was perspiring, her flowers were falling, but she said, no, I am going to bind this naughty boy. So there's an endeavor, there's some determination, and then the mercy comes in. So this is very, very important that the sages are ready to give us all. They are a storehouse of knowledge. But we have to also approach this the right way. And if we see how Maharaj Parikshit is showing us he approached this, how he sat at the Ganges, how he offered obeisances, it shows it shows Tadvidi Prani Patena Pari Prasnena Sevaya Ubdakshanti Te Jnanam Jnaninas Tattva Darshana, that we should approach this. What should be the approach? The approach should be submissively. He's showing us the submissive attitude of how. He didn't say I was a king, I was the conqueror of all the world, which was his real position. He was the conqueror of the whole world. He had if you look from birth, He was privileged. He was the grandson of he was the grandson of Maharaj, of Arjun. So he was from a very great dynasty. He was saved by the Lord himself. But there was not a tinge of any of these ifs and buts. It is complete submission. So we are learning a lot of things from this. We are learning the mood one should approach. We are learning the determination. We are learning why the great sages are coming. And as we know that the importance of holy places is due to the presence of great sages and saints. This is also mentioned later, that actually this is the entire pilgrimage sites are coming to Parikshit Maharaj. And why is this? Because a place of pilgrimage, just it says that these great Paramahansas can verily sanctify a place of pilgrimage just by their presence. And we know that from Srila Prabhupada's disciples sitting in this room, that just when Srila Prabhupada was present on this planet, just by his presence, they could feel the atmosphere change. And in modern day, this example was seen in our beloved well-wisher, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Now the other day, Swavas Prabhu was giving class and he mentioned about the shipper. Am I correct, Prabhu? Is it the shipper or the person who helps us in the gift shop? That he goes to just take a bath and come out. And Swavas Prabhu was explaining us that this is actually not the purpose of pilgrimage. It is actually elaborated very clearly here. Because a place of pilgrimage is about Shravanam Kirtanam. About understanding the topics of devotional service. Not just going and taking a bath and coming. It is these great saints actually who actually clean these places of pilgrimage. It's a later stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam that because of all of our offenses, we go and bathe in these waters, and these great personalities, when they go to those places, they actually remove the impurities. So the real essence of scripture is what we are seeing in this setting. On the other hand, the question that was asked by Maharaj Parikshit was, I now ask about my immediate duty. What is my immediate duty? Please, after deliberation, these are the exact words, after deliberation, tell me of the unalloyed duty of everyone in all circumstances, and specifically of those who are just about to die. So two very interesting, these two questions are actually the basis of Srimad Bhagavatam from Canto 2 to Canto 12. From Canto 2 to Canto 12, the two questions that are really being answered is what is my unalloyed duty? And what is specifically my duty at the time of death? So Srila Prabhupada mentions that the question of a dying man is most important because everyone is also going to die. And the conclusion, what was the conclusion? The conclusion arrived is that devotional service of Lord Krishna is the last word in relation to everyone's permanent duty in life. Is the last word. So there is no neti business. There is no if, no buts. There is no question of I am thinking this way or it can be done this way. It is the last word. This is, I'm not saying, this is just exactly in Srila Prabhupada's purpose. The last word is devotional service. So, also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, this is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, because which is regarded as the supreme instruction in Bhagavad Gita. Sarva dharma parityagya mam ekam saranam varaj aham tavam sarva pabhayo mokshami ma sucha, 1866. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. Do not fear, I will give you protection. And prior to that is 1865, man mana mad bhakto mad yachi mam namaskuru. Mam eva yasya satyam te pratijani priyo me What do? Pay homage to pay respect to me. So these are the supreme instructions of Lord Krishna. We don't need to know too much philosophy. We just need to know these two instructions. And we know that Srila Prabhupada said, according to the degree of surrender, the Lord reveals himself. So it is all checked on how much are we ready to surrender. Surrender, surrender. And in the purport, Srila Prabhupada also writes that if one is not free from sinful reactions, simply by the process of surrendering to Lord Krishna, he is automatically freed. Very important point, because we know in the 7th chapter of of Bhagavad Gita, the question of being free from sinful reactions is also brought forward, that unless we are not from that platform, we cannot take on to devotional service. But in the verse of Sarva Dharma Parityagya, Srila Prabhupada in the purport says, just by the process of surrendering to Lord Krishna, we are automatically freed from sinful reactions. So we don't have to do anything extra. And Srila Prabhupada continues to mention in his purport to verse 65, which is Man Mana Mad Bhakto, and he says, one shall concentrate his mind upon Krishna, the very form with two hands carrying a flute, the bluish boy with a blissful face and peacock feathers in his hair. That this is the form that we should strive for. So at the time of death, what is the form we are meant to be thinking about? The Shama Sundar form, Rukmani Dwarkadesh. So Srila Prabhupada is also giving us a very specific, he doesn't say that we have to concentrate on the Vishnu form. We have to concentrate on the Virat form. No, we just have to concentrate on the beautiful form of Lord Krishna. And concentration of the mind on the form of Krishna constitutes the most confidential part of knowledge. Just see how simple it is. And just as Srila Prabhupada says in the purpose, just as one cannot remain in the presence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, so the invulnerable sins of a man are immediately vanquished in your presence. Just like an atheist cannot remain in the presence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, so also the invulnerable sins of a man are immediately vanquished in the presence of the Supreme Lord. And if you remember also, during the gathering of the sages in the forest of Naimisaranya, that was another big gathering. That's where the Bhagavatam starts from. When Sutta Goswami is approached by Sonak Rishi and the rest of the rishis. In that gathering, in verse 114, Bhagavatam, Canto 1, verse 14, it says that the holy name of Krishna is feared by fear personified. That fear personified fears the name of Lord Krishna. Kali Kala Nama Rupe Krishna Avatar. So is there anything we have to fear? Is there any doubts? Is there any questions? Srila Prabhupada has very clearly stated in his purports all the philosophy. Just read thoroughly his purports. And you will be surprised. You cannot even write. You can't even keep up. It's so much Srila Prabhupada has said. But one of the things I would like to say is, what was the also prelude to Srimad Bhagavatam being spoken for our benefit? It says, O sages, I have been justly questioned by you. This is Sutta Goswami telling the sages. Your questions are worthy because they relate to Lord Krishna and so are of relevance to the world's welfare. Only questions of this sort are capable of completely satisfying the self. So this is what the sages do. This is what these gatherings do. This is what Srimad Bhagavatam class does. Hare Krishna. Any comments, any questions? Any comments from senior devotees? Sachitanoy Prabhu has a Sachitanoy.
Thank you, Prabhu. So the scene is so wonderful and beautiful. Seeing all these great sages and devotees from all the universe coming to hear, and they know the importance of being in the presence of a great devotee of Krishna, and also Bhagavatam is going to be spoken. So what would you say to devotees that, what would you say to encourage them to actually come? We don't have that taste. We might not have the how do you say, the
natural inclination.
Yeah, and then at the same time, few times when a great personality or someone who is a well-spoken in Bhagavatam, many people comes. But in a regular basis, we might not have that. So my question is in that direction. What would you say to encourage to actually make attendance for our own spiritual advancement?
Srila Prabhupada in his purports also has stated that the process of devotional service starts with Shravanam, and Shravanam is listening to Srimad Bhagavatam class. So that's our founder Acharya's statement in his purports. So this is very important for us because Shravanam Kirtanam, Shravanam starts with Srimad Bhagavatam. So attending of the morning program is critical. Like today you are leading Narshinga prayers in the morning. You may not want to lead, but it is part of the regulative. Because we are in Vaidhi Bhakti. From Vaidhi Bhakti we go into Rupanuga, spontaneous. So we have to do, we don't like certain things. We don't like waking up early. We don't like taking shower. Believe me, yesterday I had to take shower, I don't know how many times, because I was told to come on the altar. And then when I leave the altar, I'm told come back to the altar, to put the deities to rest or something. So you're taking showers multiple times. You don't want to do it, but this is something we have to endeavor. That is the word. We have to endeavor. We must have enthusiasm. Maybe Swavas Prabhu can speak more because, his temple authority, he has to always try to drive us. But one thing I've seen about Swavas Prabhu, when he sees us engaged in devotional service, he has the biggest smile. Biggest smile. He's so happy. Because why is he happy? He's our well-wisher. As a temple authority, he's actually happy to see us engaged in a service. How many of you have noticed that? That when you're doing service and Swavas Prabhu is even passing, he has a big smile. Correct or wrong? Yes or no? You have also seen, yes? Yes. See? So this shows you that this is spontaneous because they are happy to see us progress. But we have to do some endeavor. Maybe Maharaj has something else that he can add. Srimad Bhagavatam class ki.